Well, someone wanted me to do a video on my Ultra 2024 airbrush and how it's been going and how I finally figured out how to actually use it properly. So this video is for that person. I can't remember their username. If I find it, it'll appear up above here. So we're looking at the Harder Steenbeck Ultra 2024 airbrush, which has like the different settings. But over the last year, I've come to actually control my spray with the nozzle here and not use these. Because for the longest time, I tried figuring out which each setting needed to be at the PSI. And I just have a Mastercraft air pressure. Oh, geez, I can't even think of it. Airbrush compressor. And what I do is I actually turn it on till it hits about 25. I've actually set it with the dial here, and then when I spray it goes down to about 20, and I leave it at the spray. So if ever it goes down below 20, 22, I turn it back on, and I make sure that it's like I spray, and then I turn the valve until it gets to about 25 and then turn it off again. So that's it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through, I'm gonna paint the Trickster, as you can see down there, from Undead or Alive. Yes, he looks a lot smaller than my actual machine, but he's not that tiny. You'll see as we get closer later on. We're gonna spray him up with the airbrush. Wow. And we're also going to show you how quickly it is to clean the airbrush between colors and stuff. We're gonna use a few colors here just to show you guys. All right, again, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Now let's get to airbrushing. So as you can see, the Trickster here has no head because he comes with options. Yeah, the options are actually, you get the bird head, you get the wolf head, and you get the hare head or bunny head, and because he's got different abilities depending on which head you use in the abomination. I think he's got different levels, so if you kill one, you get the other one. Anyways, we're gonna be working on the skin. We're gonna show you how precise we can be with the cloth as well, and we're gonna do maybe one of the heads in this video. So now I'm not gonna do any. I'm gonna do the voiceover afterwards. I'm gonna record now. You guys can follow through, and yeah. Alright, first color we're going to be using is Breathal Blush here. It is the first skin tone. So this is a triad we're actually doing. So this is the base one. As you can see, I'm putting a few dabs in there. Quite a bit because it's going to be covering up a lot. And my pressure is set to about 25 to 28 PSI. And what I always do, I usually test it on the ground or I test it on my hand. As you can see, there's a lot of paint on my gloves. Thumbs up, it's ready to go because I'm using the right pressure for what I need to do. Depending on your spray, you either going to be closer or further away from your mini. So this is a dual press, so you have to press first and then pull back on the trigger. Otherwise, if you just pull back right away, some paint might not come out, but see how nice and smooth it comes out. You can also do it like a bit bigger blotches. See, as I pull it further back, more paint comes out and it's a lot more thicker. You want to be further away from the mini. If you're doing what I'm doing right now, the skin, you're seeing them about maybe a couple fingers away. And it goes really nicely, covers up beautifully, and yes, this is kind of funny that this is an abomination, but he looks so beautiful in the end. He almost looks like a David in my opinion. I mean, I'm not that good of an artist, but anyways, so yeah, over the last 18 months I have been looking at videos. I've been asking Harder Steenbeck, I've been asking what was it? Oh, who was it that was using this one? Squid Mari, but they never respond in their comments. Not to me anyways. They might respond to other people. I'm using the exact same colors on the three heads. I'm actually going to be using them as well, and you can see I'm going like in a moving pattern here. I'm very pressed, just a little pressing here just to show you guys. And I did make a mistake there where I just let go of the nozzle instead of going back to the front and then releasing. See, that's what you're supposed to do, is go back to the front and release, because otherwise it can cause a little tiny clog. If it does, pull back your trigger all the way to the back, let a lot of paint come out, and that'll just get the paint wet again and your needle moving a little bit more. So now we're going to just show you quickly now when I clean the brush between colors. I try to do this as quick as possible. I put some water in these kind of dropper water bottles. I got them from Amazon. And in that there is some isopropyl alcohol. It's my mixture of water and alcohol. I'm going to show you guys an even bigger cleanup later on. But make sure again your tip is as soft as possible and on your brush that you're cleaning here. Put some water in there, dip it all out. And this is going to be a quick cleanup. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys an even more in-depth cleanup. But in between colors, some people are like, oh my god, it takes forever to clean. So if you're doing an army, it's not so bad because you're going to be using that same color more and more like throughout. Whereas now I'm switching colors a little bit quicker. As you can see, I was spraying a little bit there through it just to get some water flowing through the nozzle and through the needle. I also have this airbrush collector cup or whatever, collection, air spray collection. It's got a little filter, which FYI, Amazon doesn't sell just the filters for these things. I don't know why, but mine is extremely clogged up and I'm trying to find just the filters for it, but I'll keep looking online. Also, then what you want to do is take up a paper towel, scrunch up the front, put it against all the holes. Some airbrushes, this one is a little bit more complicated to have because you have nothing to protect the needle if you take off the part in the front. And if you don't take it off, then you only have all these holes you gotta try and cover. So the best thing to do is you spray, you hold, you let it go a bit, you let water go through, you let the bubbles come through. If the bubbles are coming back through, you're doing a good job. Now what I'm doing again, I'm just spraying some water through it. I didn't use any of the alcohol this time because it's just to get rid of that color. If there's a little bit of the leftover color in it after, because you're doing a triad of colors, it's not a big deal if the other one comes out a little bit at first. But see, I'm testing it now. There's no more color on it. We're ready for the next one. So you put it on a white paper towel just to see if you're still getting some of the old color. All right, let's move on to that next color, Elven Flesh. Again, see, there's water still in the bottom, so I'm making sure that doesn't go on the miniature first, because otherwise you're going to have like blotchy water effects on it, and it could also like blow off the other paint. And I'm doing kind of a zenithal here, where I'm only hitting where the light is going to be hitting from. So that's what's one good thing about also having a light source in your spray booth, is you're going to see where the light is hitting and where you're going to want to put this next color on. And then we're going to do the same thing on the wolf head. We're just going to come in here, get the little ears a little bit more, get the nose a bit more, get it, just, you know, a little bit more. All right, the last color we're doing is Feywild Glow. And you can see sometimes I also go over the other color that was there previously to see how it's going to interact with it. And you can see it's going to cover up quite a bit, this one. Sometimes if you have a darker color underneath, it's going to blend. And that's one thing I love about the airbrushing, is the blending technique. I have such a hard time blending colors with a brush that I wish I could be so precise with an airbrush. And I'm going to try and paint a Space Marine with an airbrush as well and see how that turns out. But anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Don't forget to hit that like button, and to the user that wanted to notice, I hope this helps a little bit more, showing you that it's actually quite easy to use this brush. Again, it's not necessary to use those dials. I have not figured out which PSI to use on each dial, because you'll have some for really precise where you gotta be really up close and it's almost like you're writing with a pencil or a marker or like a fine tip thing. And I think if you have too much pressure, it clogs right away. If you don't have enough pressure, I don't know, I just can't figure it out. So I stick with the 25, 28, and then yeah, and then just pull the trigger as you're supposed to. All right, some Shamrock Green now. We're using speed paint in there, and by the way, speed paint in the airbrush is so much fun. However, it dries really quickly, so you got to use it quick, and you got to remember, you got to know where you're putting it, because the air is blowing onto the speed paint, which is going to dry it quickly. So get your job done quick with it, and make sure you clean it out. But it cleans out a lot faster. Couple spritzes of water and it's gone. Like, you don't even need to use the brush on the inside to clean it. I might use it here, but you don't even need to. I spray a little bit on the nozzle in the front, spray some air out, and it's like, watch this, like the water comes out pretty much clear right away. It's that simple. That's one good thing about speed paints. Now, I don't know what it is with the Army Painter matte white air paint. I don't know if I got an old bottle or something, but this sucker clogs me up well, not me, my airbrush every single time. And I don't know why. Now, I didn't realize that I didn't grab the green fluo, I think it's called Gauss Green, from the air paints. No, I grabbed the Data System Glow Effects paint, and I was like, why is it not coming out as nicely as I wanted to? And I didn't even put a mixture in. I forgot to put medium, and I was like, why is this a little bit thicker? So my mistake here, you should not put Warpaints Fanatic directly into your airbrush without a little bit of medium, or even some speed paint medium, by the way. It does help. About a 1-to-1, I would say. Like, or they suggest like 2 drops of paint per 1 drop of medium. I'd go more 1 to 1, but I mean, you mix it up in a cup and you'll see you want it to be the consistency of milk, almost like thick but not thick. Husk brown now, and I'm showing you look how precise you can be with this. And look at the way my finger works. It goes just a little, you barely see the movement. I'm just going there, down, pull back, down, pull back, down, pull back. And I'm even doing the little tiny string that goes around his body and barely overlapping the paint. And if you do well, you can come back with some of the air paint on a brush and just clean up the mess you made, okay? It's not a big deal if you overspray a little bit. Just be careful. But this is just to show you that you can be extremely precise with this. And I did hit his leg, but that's because at one point I kind of hit the trigger. I do have shaky hands. And so my fingers kind of slipped back a bit more and I hit a little too much paint that came out. But I mean, it does, you know, this Harder Steenbeck, if you're new to airbrushing, you will get frustrated at first. You can just be like, why did I spend this much money on an airbrush when I could have bought a $20 one on Amazon? Well, the $21 ones on Amazon are okay, but I found that they can break a lot. Anyways, I'm going to show you now how to clean it very properly. Okay, so now you get to the end of your session. Your airbrush is all dirty. You're putting in your last color. Anyway, so now what you want to do is, again, just fill it up with water, go in with your brush, clean it up. Now this is the normal typical cleanup between each color. You just go in, you try and rinse it off as much as you can. Sometimes your little nozzle in the front here, I just like to put a little bit of air through it and then just clean it a little bit like that, but you're going to show you the deep clean in a second. Now is the magic sauce. This is some alcohol mixed with a little bit of water. Isopropyl alcohol there. We just put this in here, not the alcohol you can drink, of course. And then you swish it around again, and you make sure that your brush is soft at the tip because you do not want to damage your tip, right? You don't want to damage the needle. And you go softly inside, go from all the sides, because you're going to get most of it off with the alcohol. Will kind of burn it off, kind of thing. And then I'm just going to go back in and empty this out into my airbrush cup. So I'll go do that. That takes a few seconds as well. You guys don't need to see exactly how to do it. And then I'll show you when I remove this here, how to clean this quickly. Okay, so I emptied it out in my airbrush cup. Sometimes I like to take this off as well here now. And then just rinse, like just wipe around. Just so it creates a nice seal. You don't have anything too full of paint around. Because like paint gets on these things, they get dirty, all right? Now you don't have to take the whole thing apart. I just take off the front, I don't know what this is, the chuck, the something, and then there's a little piece that comes out. Do not lose that. Leave that aside. And you want to go very slowly where your paper towel is wet and just slightly scratch out. If you feel any kind of resistance, if you go against it and you feel any kind of resistance, there's too much on it. You can look on the inside as well. It looks like there's nothing there. I spray a little bit of air through it. You're going to hear my machine go off a little bit there. And then I just come in with a little bit of water again, and see, it does stay a little bit in there, so I'll just come back and just spray it off into my paper towel. See how it moves nice and easily? That's what you want. I'm just gonna put the airbrush away for a second, and then I'm gonna come back to this, and this is where you're gonna have a few other tools. Now these little brushes here, and I like to go through the edges here, through the sides. Now that one's a little too big, I think. Oh no, no, it's this one here, and then just go back and forth, just rubbing it, you know, give it a nice little scratch in it. I mean, yes, it's not necessarily great for it, but as long as you don't get too much in that area here. And then in this little one, I don't recommend using this. Like, whoop, and there you go, I dropped it, so I'll be right back. Found it. You don't want to lose this because your airbrush is done after that, and you have to buy another part. Okay, so you can get this also with the kit that comes with that draining, and you just shove it in there, and it's got like a little kind of like a bent area, and it scrapes as it goes in, and as it comes out the other end, you can see it comes in and out like the needle does. So that really cleans that off really well. You just put this back on, like back inside, grab your airbrush, very gently poke the needle through, close it off, re-put your cap, and then what I do is a little test. I put just a little dab of water, okay, on the inside, and then I'm going to shoot it out just to see if there's anything, and if there's any bubbles. Well, there is, so it means there's still a little something Possibly, no, there isn't stuck in there. That's just the way it's supposed to be. And then you go like this. If you pull it and there's still bubbles coming out, then there might be a little bit of paint stuck in here. I'll clean that out. But yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks all again for watching. Don't forget to slay the gray, one miniature at a time.